Mic check, mic check. Solo M live and direct. First episode of Hungry Dog Sports. Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there? Yeah, this is the first episode of Hungry Dog Sports. This episode is based on quarterback rankings. This is my unbiased review, my top 10. If you don't like it, you can kick rocks, get your own show. It's like, nah. But on for real note, we're gonna try to do the best that we can. You know, I decided to do this particular channel because I'm not liking what I'm seeing in this analysts out there, and they biased reviews and they uneducated reviews. So I wanted to start my own YouTube channel, and I want to thank all the listeners that's tuning in. So without further ado, let's get down to the nitty gritty. You feel what I'm saying? For the top 10 quarterback power rankings, number 10, a lot of people are high on this guy. For whatever reason, he did have half a good season last season, but he was impressive in the playoffs. He won a playoff game, so I gotta give him that respect. And the number 10 spot is going to Jordan Love, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, I mean, and hey, the way he whipped up on the Cowboys in the playoff game, he's a quarterback who won the playoff game in his first, playoff. I gotta give him that respect. I gotta put him in my top 10, even if you disagree. He played the Philadelphia Eagles week 1. I think he's going to lose that game, but nevertheless, he's in my top 10. And I think most of you out there will agree that he's in the top 10 rankings. So let's move on. For the number 9 spot, I had to think long and hard about this. This particular guy, he get a lot of praise and a lot of accolades, but he hasn't really done it in the playoffs. Nevertheless, I still got him in my top 10 because of his regular season, numbers. I had to. And that's Justin Herbert. He's the number 9 quarterback on my list. And hey, he earned that. I gotta give him respect, even though he don't do it in the playoffs. But I gotta put him in the top 10 because of his regular season accolades, and that goes a long way. You can't hate on a guy like that. And this year he might do worse because he don't got no weapons. He really don't. They took all his weapons away from him, and I don't know why they would do that to the to the San Diego Chargers, but that's what they decided to do. So it's all on him this season. Let's move on to number 8. This guy was the All-Pro last year. But like seasons before, he faded out in the playoffs. And we all know who that is. It's the helmet with the star on their logo, Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He's number 8 on my list. If Dak Prescott can get it together and win a Super Bowl, he might be one of the greatest quarterbacks in the Cowboys, his team's franchise. Other than Starbuck and Aikman, he could be up to number 3. But he gotta get it done in the playoff. If he not, he might be extremely disappointed. It'll be very curious to see if the Cowboys retire his logo, his jersey, if he retired without a Super Bowl. And they might not because they got high standards in Dallas. So I doubt that. But let's move on. The next guy is the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy. He was in the Super Bowl last year. You know, you got to give him respect. A lot of people think that he's like not that good, but hey, you got to give him his respect. He's not no Daniel Jones, because there's a big difference between Daniel Jones, who's a game manager, and they got no flair about his game, and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, he took his team to the Super Bowl. You got to respect that. No matter what you say, you got to respect a quarterback who took his team to the Super Bowl. You know, he didn't play that good in the Super Bowl, but he got there nevertheless. Now, let's move on. The next quarterback, this is going to be controversial. It really is. And I'm sorry that it's going to be controversial. I don't mean to be, but nevertheless, it's going to be controversial. This guy was the MVP of the NFL last year, and he's the number 6 quarterback on my list, Lamar Jackson. And you might say, how the hell do you got Lamar Jackson as the number 6 best quarterback on the quarterback, power ranking? Because he don't get it done in the playoffs. Because, his regular season stats is good. Don't get me wrong. They're good, but they're not spectacular. And the quarterbacks I got ahead of him, I don't think that he's better than them as far as quarterback wise. So that's just my personal opinion. If you don't like it, cool. I can live with that. It's a little bit controversial. I understand. The Baltimore fans going to be commenting, they're going to be upset, but that's cool. So, that's just my opinion. Let's move on. I don't want no beef. Let's move on. Number 5. This is going to be controversial as well. But I cannot argue what I have seen from this guy. And he is the quarterback of the Houston Texans, C.J.Stroud. C.J. Stroud. Like, he just... Hey. This boy is a gunslinger. You know what I mean? He's a gunslinger. And he might be one of the most prolific gunslingers since Dan Marino. And that's too early to say, but in his rookie year and Dan Marino rookie year is kind of similar. But Dan Marino, I think, made it to the bowl. He didn't. That's the only thing. He had a real good rookie season. He got to follow it up. If he don't, because this quarterback power ranking is going to be week to week. They can fall and go up. So, don't think that this is where he's going to be at. You know what I mean? But right now, he's earned this spot. Number 4 is Jalen Hurts, quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Some might say this is controversial because he had a bit of a down end of the season. At one point, he was 10-1. Then, they lost the last, 6 out of the last 7 games. He lost the playoff as well. But I believe that he's going to have a comeback year this year. And I believe that he's going to do his thing. I got the Eagles actually making the Super Bowl this year. So, this is my pick at number 4. Hate it or love it. Number 3, Josh Allen. Wonder Boy. Josh Allen is top 5 in everybody's list. And see, this is what it gives me about Josh Allen. I believe he beat Mahomes in the playoff. But his defense let him down. He was up with 13 seconds left on the clock. And you should beat that game. If you up 13 seconds left on the clock, you should beat that 99 out of 100 times. And he lost that 1% because his defense let him down. And I don't blame him for that. When he left that field, he was up. And he should have been advancing. But his defense let him down. And if he would have won that game, his whole trajectory of his career would have changed. He would have beat Mahomes in the playoff. He might have won the Super Bowl. Who knows? But at the end of the day, his defense let him down. Now a lot of people are saying he's overrated, but I think he's good. I really do. I think he earned that number 3 spot. Yeah, I mean, he lead all of the quarterbacks in touchdowns combined since he's been in the league, so you got to give him that respect. Number 2, let's move on to this is controversial as well, but hey, say what you must. Joe Burrow is number 2 on my list because he was hurt last year. Nevertheless, when he's healthy, he's the second best quarterback in the league. He's the only quarterback in the league that beat Mahomes on a many occasion. So that right there earned his spot at number 2. You know, so if you want to argue with that, fine, but that's just my opinion. Number 1, we all know who it is. The one we all know and love. You know, the one that we all know and love is Patrick Mahomes. He's number 1 on my list. He don't need no introduction. We already know what his accolades are. We already know who he is, what he stands for. And hopefully somebody can knock him out of the playoffs this year and stop his reign of three-peating. We don't need that. Nobody want that. We all want our teams to get a chance to win the Super Bowl as well. We don't need no another Brady on our hands, brothers and sisters. So that is the quarterback power ranking for week 1. You know, Solo M signing out.